Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Once again, let me sing the praises of Probox TV, which is the free-to-air on YouTube series. They have maybe one every month, roughly, a card. Always great fights, very, very competitive fights. And they have some real close crackers that, slip through the net of most boxing fans. And a lot of the guys on there are very talented. They're like the future generations. They have had people who've gone on to win world titles, like Angelo Leo, for example, but was featured on Probox. He ended up knocking out Luis Alberto, what's his name? Featherweight guy. Luis Alberto, can't remember his name. Sorry. Premature senior moment. Anyway, you know what I mean. Knocked out Mick Conlan. Anyway. Getting back to this, there was a very good, very close fight. No, actually, it wasn't a close fight. It was close on the cards, but I didn't think it was a close fight. It was won by Rene Tellez Giron, who unanimously outpointed Jordan White. Now, even though Giron got a unanimous decision, two of the cards, probably all three, two of the three cards were too close for me, way too close. Because Giron came in, he had 21 wins with 5 KOs. He's never been stopped. And he's got, 22 wins, 5 defeats, and he's never been stopped. He's got 13 KOs in the wins column. The 5 defeats are to high-level guys: an undefeated Floyd Schofield, Eduardo Hernandez, beat him over 12. In fact, both those fights, the Schofield and the Hernandez fights, were 12-rounders. He lost unanimous decisions there. I think it was Giovanni Cabrera beat him a unanimous decision. That was an 8-rounder. I mean, no one's given this kid anything. And of course, as we know, defeats don't really mean a great deal, if you learn from them. He's actually fought in not just Mexico, Giron, but he's actually fought in Ukraine once, I think. Got a unanimous decision over there in 10 rounds. He's fought in the US plenty of times. He's fought I think he might have fought in Argentina once. I think Jose Matias Romero won a majority decision over him. So this guy's used to traveling. So taking on the sort of, I suppose, a prospect who they're kind of schooling, which is Jordan White, didn't bother him. Jordan White, of course, was the home fighter, American fighter. Came in with 19 wins with 12 KOs and 1 defeat. And the defeat was early on in his career. He lost a 6-rounder to Adam Lopez, who was also undefeated. Since then, he's been making steady progress. Jordan White is now 28 years old, so he's probably as good as he's going to get, or, mostly. And he's up to the point where he is probably in his prime, I suppose, his physical prime at 28. And he's got skills. I mean, the fight started and Jordan White was banging out a very good jab and trying to keep Giron honest with the jab. Giron, Mexican front-footed style. Jordan White, more of a US boxer style, but quite aggressive, threading his punches nice and straight. Like I say, a ramrod jab. He was punching with Giron. But after a few rounds, Giron started to sort of go through the gears and was really putting pressure on White that seemed to be having an effect, well, certainly physically, but mentally as well. I'm guessing because I'm watching the fight and thinking he looks, the body language, facial expression begins to look a little bit weary. And I thought after maybe 3-4 rounds that, White needed to go. He needed to go through the gears as well. He needed to find a sort of not a second win, but just up it a little bit, because he was getting drawn into a fight at a pace he didn't like. He had to sort of go back to the jab, bang the jab in, right hands over the top. But he couldn't. He kind of hinted at doing it. Both these guys, by the way, were orthodox fighters. He kind of hinted at that, but you could tell that his gas tank was getting drained as well. And he was having to sort of exert more energy, use up more of that fuel at that point of the fight. The fight was only not even halfway over than he wanted to. Then in the 5th round, towards the end of the 5th round, Giron landed a terrific punch that put White over by the ropes, and White got up and he looked again. There was a weariness about him. He knew where he was. It wasn't one of those rubber legged situations. But you're thinking this kid's halfway through a 10-rounder against this tough Mexican who just will not go away, and you're thinking, I wonder if he's beginning to sort of unravel a bit mentally. Now, he had done 10 rounds in his previous three or four of his last 6 or 5 or something like that. So he's used to going the 10 rounds. But this was a pace and a pressure that he didn't seem to like. And despite that knockdown, okay, in the 6th round he was losing the round, I thought, but at least he was trying to hold it together. His corner were very very vocal. They said, we need more. You got to up it. Blah, blah, blah. Then in the 7th round, I think again Giron was taking over the fight big time and putting the hurt on White. And there was, right at the end of the round, I mean, the referee went over. I thought the corner might even pull him out. But the last 3 rounds, 8, 9 and 10, I mean, I thought Giron seemed to slow very slightly, and White was able to just do enough to stay in the fight. You want to talk about a baptism by fire, having a fight where you really learn a lot, but you do it the hard way. This was one of those fights for Jordan White against a veteran. I mean, a tough veteran. Giron with his 22 wins, those 5 defeats. So again, I've said it so many times before, you learn from those defeats an awful lot of the time. This is going to have to be a defeat that White learns from and works. He goes away and he thinks, I don't want to go through that again. So I'm going to work hard. I'm going to knuckle down. I'm going to work on my output, work on my gas tank, get my cardio better off. It's not the end of the world for White, of course. He's now 19-2. 2 defeats were on points. But look, if he needs any inspiration for continuing and climbing up the ladder again, he's only got to look at Rene Tellez Giron, hasn't he? Who's got 5 defeats and is flying. He's doing very, very well. And again, Giron is only 26. Jordan White's 28. Match these guys tough. They pick up all that experience and they actually become better fighters. So long as you don't take a totally sustained beating that takes years off your career. So long as you're in hard, tough fights, you become battle-hardened, and then it becomes a question of how much do you want it, and you get that experience as well. It's invaluable. There is no substitute for experience in boxing or life. So well done to Giron. I mean, a great win for him. He'll be back on Probox or maybe get a bigger fight. White, he can come back on Probox again. Nothing bad about his performance. He just was left a little bit, didn't quite have enough. But yeah, go and watch Probox TV. It's really, really good. Paulie Malignaggi and Chris Algieri are the two ex-fighters who do the commentary, and they're both very, very knowledgeable. Oh, by the way, Luis Alberto Lopez was the guy I was trying to think of earlier, the one who knocked out Mick Conlan and also beat Josh Warrington, didn't he? Anyway, it suddenly came to me. You see, when you get to a certain age, these things, you forget them, and then they suddenly pop into your head. Oh, yeah, him. Anyway, let me know what you think. If you saw this fight, comments below as usual. I will have a read of them. I don't get a chance to answer all your comments because there's just too many of them, but I do read them. I normally click that little heart thing just to show I've read it, unless I completely disagree with what you said. But anyway, leave your comments below. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. Why not? Because it's free. It takes a second. Pop the subscribe button. You're doing us a favour. Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing, and bye for now.